still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of the righteousness for his name's sake, not of my own. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Here I am in this valley. For thou art with me, thy rod, thy staff, thy comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me. I'm underneath this table. In the presence of mine enemies, thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Let me tell you what. In this house, underneath this table, I am literally in the presence of mine enemies. God knew what was going to come to pass before it came to pass, and he spiritually woke me up. Let me tell you something. Before the storm ever came, OBGYNs told me, you're pregnant with a boy. 2 weeks before that storm, I got a call from the OBGYN. They told me you're having a girl. So I had to get rid of all the boy stuff and get the girl stuff. While I'm sitting in that room before we moved out of that room where that roof collapsed, here comes a mother in with her other child and her husband and this unclothed little girl that's 3 months old. She's wet. Their whole entire trailer collapsed on them. I took this baby in my arms and I'm in pain myself, but I can't worry about myself. I can't worry about those birthing pains. I'm worrying about this bag that I know that God had done, created for this child. Here in this bag was this baby girl's stuff, my unborn child's stuff. So I pulled it all out. I dried her off with my shirt, all the while holding my youngest son at the same time and linked together with all these children. And I'm drying her off. I put her skin on skin and I clothed this baby, and I thank God for these clothes. I thank God for this experience. I thank God for this testimony in that moment. So after the storm, let's fast forward. After the storm is over, everyone walks out. We walk out of that ruin and nothing is the same. I'm physically sick. I'm in pain. I'm in labor and I'm sick. The atmosphere is not the same. We seen white blankets of smoke just passing by. 200 excessive force, exceedingly 200 miles per hour easily. Things that were not supposed to be flying. Houses, roofs, trailers, cars, campers. If you can possibly imagine it, it was flying in the sky. And honey, it wasn't birds. It was gone. It was catastrophic, I tell you. And when we came out of that ruin and I walked past every single trailer, mind you, it's about 8 or 9 of them. And here this 40-foot little trailer in the back of the mobile home park set 2 structurally sound houses prior to the storm set. And everything is in ruin. And when I go back there to the house that God had done blessed me with and I made home for these children, it wasn't perfect, but in my spirit, it was a place that God had done set us up and prepared for us. And we're in the presence of our enemies while we're doing this. And the only thing that stood was that little 40-foot trailer with no tie downs. God done protected it the whole time. Trees fell around it. Big, massive trees fell around it like this in rotation. Nothing was moved on the exterior or the interior. Nothing was wrong with it. I walked in the door. The door was wide open. The floor wasn't even wet. The 17 crosses still hung on the wall where I left them. Let me tell you this. Fear contaminated? No, I'm getting too excited. Fear tolerated is faith contaminated. Don't let your faith be contaminated because God done brought it to pass. God done said it was going to happen. God's done sitting here spiritually waking you up whenever he decides to wake you up and you feel it. You feel him knocking. It's that calling and you decide to ignore it. Let me tell you something. When you're in that moment, you can't fear anything. You can't fear nothing because God will bring it to pass and God will protect you and God creates strategically everything in place. All these storms, let me tell you what you need to do during these storms. I don't care